Motherload's craft table. I was wondering if any of you remembered in the last video she made where she said this.
I know you might be a bit flowered out, and if you are, I'm sorry. I'll endeavour to do something different next time.
Now, it might just be me, but I don't think doing parts of flowers is really doing something different from flowers at all. Before she begins making these non-flower flower parts, let's fix her camera.
Hi everyone, it's Anne here again. I've got here some stamens that I've made for adding to my flowers, or just little things that you make where you need an extra little bit of something. And these ones I've made using wire and some of my ugly beads that I would never use for anything else. And they're very easy to make. I'd like to show you how I did it. So I'll start off with a piece of wire. You can use any wire you've got, it doesn't matter what gauge it is. This is a piece of florist wire, but as I say, use what you've got. And I'm just going to cut it into stamen size pieces. So, about like that. Okay, and then I'm going to use some crepe paper. Now if you haven't got crepe paper, you might be able to use tissue. I haven't tried it because I've got the crepe paper, but I don't really see why tissue wouldn't work. Crepe paper comes in a big long packet like that. This one I've had for a while, so I'm down to that much, but I'm just going to cut all the way through the folds of the paper, the stack, so I end up with a continuous long piece like that. And using just a little bit of glue stick, just going to put a little bit on the end just to get it going, and then take one of my wires and just fold it over at the end and stick it down. And then you kind of twist the top while stretching the paper with your other hand. So I'm twisting and I'm pulling at the same time to stretch the paper as I twist it down the wire like that. And you get a nice tight twist of paper down the wire. To get to the bottom, I'm just going to add a little more glue and just finish that off. So what I've got is a little piece of wire that's completely covered in paper. Now you don't have to cover your wire in paper. I mean, these are green. If you wanted to use them like that, there's no reason why you couldn't. But I'm using them in light coloured things, and I would like the stems of the stamens to be white. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So twist and pull. You have a bit of tension on the paper. Get to the bottom. Apply a little more glue. Just finish it off like that. Do one more. Alright, we might do some more after, but for now that's enough. Alright, so I've got 3, and I've got here some very ugly beads that I will never use in a month of Sundays. They're plastic, they've got sort of facets on them, and they have a very big hole. Now the hole might actually be too big for the wire, so I'll just test it. Yes, it wants to fall off. So I'm going to get my pliers and just bend over the top of the wire and squash it down very flat like that. And hopefully now that will fit in the bead. Yes, it does fit in. By the time I put the glue on, that will work fine. So I'm just going to get a little dab of glue and put it on the end where I've folded it over. And put my ugly bead on there. Just let that dry for a sec. Do another one while we're waiting. Fold it over. Now if your beads are not got too big a hole in and they just go on there nicely, they don't have to fit tight, they just have to be a close enough fit that when you put a little bit of glue on them, there'll be enough space for them to for the glue to cling onto the sides of the insides of the bead. Now the whole point of me starting these was because I couldn't find stamens that were big enough for what I wanted and also the right colour. So doing it this way you can control the size and the colour. So now I've just got these 3 done, and the next thing to do is to get a little bit more glue. I'm going to put it on this plastic sheet so I don't make a mess everywhere. I'm just going to put a little blob on there and some glitter. And I'm just going to, I usually just keep one finger reserved for the glue so that all my fingers aren't getting stickied up. And then just roll it in the glitter. And immediately that looks so much better. And then just stand it up so that it can dry. A little bit of glue on there.
As I sit here watching Mum using her sticky middle finger to apply glue to the bead, I wonder whether or not someone's ever invented something they could use to avoid having to use your finger. Probably not.
Okay. So I'm sure you get the gist of it. Now depending on what colour glitter you use, you get different effects. These ones that I showed you at first, these ones I used, it's a white glitter that's got flecks of gold in it. These ones I used like a coppery coloured glitter, not that one, and a different shaped bead. Now these ones I used 3 beads and got a totally different look. And I've used the same glitter, but the beads themselves, the colour of the beads shows through. Now you don't have to use just standard shapes. These beads that I used were actually flower shaped. If you can see that one, that gives it another totally different look. Anyway, it was just a little thing that I thought I might share that because it's useful. Alright, thank you very, very much for watching. Have fun crafting, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.